What's up, everybody in Twitch and YouTube land? It is becoming a theme with these Marvel Disney Plus TV shows that every week they start and end in the way that I didn't think they were going to. Didn't think for 3/4 of this episode I was getting an Aisha backstory without Kamala there.
Yeah, pretty much the entire first half is just pretty much like the partition and
Yeah,
Aisha's found family. And
nuts.
Yeah. And it was honestly kind of beautiful. I genuinely forgot for a second that I was watching a Marvel superhero show because they they injected so much real world history into the backstory.
Yeah, it was very weird. Like everything down from even the pretty great wow, my brain's blanking. The like History Channel intro thing.
Yep.
That was awesome. I was generally like, what is this? It was so cool. They treated it with like genuine respect, and like there wasn't any like jokes, there was no nothing. It was all very serious.
It was certainly tonally different from what you would expect from the Marvel version of the partition.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where I because the partition is not something that got brought up when I was in school, or if it did, it was so brief to where it does not click in my memory.
Same.
And it's getting to the point of where I really want to look at this. It has no bearing on my life whatsoever, but it's seeming like it's just something worth like at least having a grasp on, again, what the hell the world can come to in certain situations.
Yeah,
because we get about 2% of it in the show. It's made out to be a very big deal. Let's not beat around the bush. It's made to be one of the most, if not the most important events in almost all of Kamala's family's lives. But they give it enough reverence and importance, but still move on with the show. It's a very well-handled subject.
Agreed.
They keep it within plot, but make sure to not make it seem like an afterthought. What's her name? Najma's just been a bitch. Always.
Yep. It's like she started off as like some benevolent like force in episodes 2 and the start of episode 3, but then the second she reveals her true colors later that episode, she's like the worst of the worst.
Yeah, it was just, it's like it was near, and this is not an insult, it's like near Scooby-Doo levels of old man, it's just old man Jenkins, and then all of a sudden that mask comes off and it's like, she's just just the worst person ever. And it's not even like it's so transparent. She's just evil. She's like, no, I don't care if anyone gets killed. I want to get in there. But yeah, and I wasn't sure how they were going to handle, like, Kamala gets Sona on the train. And it's one of those weird time inferences where it's like, did she not get on the train until Kamala went back in time? Or it's one of those things where the shit loops in on itself.
Yeah,
where it's like
we're gonna have conversations about this probably for the next forever.
Yeah, because like Kamala can't be born if Sana doesn't get on the train. So how does Kamala get Sana on the train? It's one of those things where just don't think about it. Just watch the product. Just forget that one point. Yeah, and we get the one question I had was like, what's going on in present day when this is happening? The correct answer would be jack of shit, because I guess they all knocked themselves out. We're all seeing that.
And I mean, clearly enough time has passed. Like, Kamala's family is worried, or at least the mother.
Yeah. I love how she's so out of date on technology. She's like, you can track the phone. It's like, it's a common thing. How am I just hearing about this? I'm one of the most overprotective mothers on the planet, and none of you told me. Yes, honey. That is why we didn't tell you. But yeah, I guess it just like Eagle blasted them out. And then, hey Manny, what's up, buddy? And yeah, so I don't know how the next episode's gonna fly, obviously. But
I know two things have to happen. One, we're gonna get more damage control.
Yeah.
And two, in the comics, Kamran is kind of sort of evil.
Yeah, that's one thing I was getting at, because I appreciated the vintage Marvel intro also, Manny. That was a very nice touch. The thing is, it was alluded to that the veil busting open was gonna kind of be the big
end of the world.
It was gonna be the whole sixth episode was gonna be them dealing with the veil. 10 minutes left of this episode, the veil's shut. And she goes into, this is so weird, because they do a possible, Mike, you don't watch wrestling, so you might not know wrestling terms. Face and heels. Face is a good guy, heel is a bad guy.
I know at least that much.
Okay, yeah. So when you hear the term the face or heel turn, you're talking about they do a shift to try and make the audience feel
either love or hate them.
Yeah. And it's normally a big seismic shift. They don't just go, by the way, this time. Well, I shouldn't say that. Sometimes they do, because, oh boy, they like to write sometimes. You get Kamala explaining to her that you just saw one of your family get Ark of the Covenant in front of you. And you want to still go in there? They're dead. It didn't work. It's going to kill you. And then all of a sudden she's like, no, I can close it. I'm going to fix it. She's like, don't leave. You still have Kamran. And then you get this weird, okay, fake. He's like, no, I left him. Okay. Yeah, you made it so that the rest of the family was left. Don't do that again. So then we get this possible, we're meant to make her thinking she's having a face turn by shutting the veil, but then immediately it goes to Kamran and some energy shoots into him, and now he has the same thing. So part of my brain is thinking that she was like, oh yeah, I can somehow just use Kamran. I still do have him. So is she like veil possessing Kamran?
Maybe. That is honestly a good question.
Because, like, what other reason would the veil zap halfway across the country into the one person she was thinking about at the end of time? Unless she thinks the veil's going to open again and she somehow gave him powers. Part of me thinks that, like, Kamran's going to turn villain because he doesn't know his mom is in him.
It's possible.
Or she made the veil possess him somehow. I don't know. But this ending episode, I think, is either going to be, if somehow Kamran doesn't turn into a villain, somehow, it's going to be those two versus damage control.
Probably.
Or go ahead.
Or well, I'm just kind of stuck on that as the option now because I thought that the clandestines were supposed to be the main villain, but again, we also mentioned last time that you don't just bring in damage control to do one thing and then not show up again.
Yeah, and then like the other option is it's going to be those two versus damage control for the start, and then he possibly turns evil halfway through, and it's damage control trying to kill him while she's trying to save him from damage control. Those are the only two viable options I'm seeing.
This is tough because the ending just like it gave us so many different possibilities.
Yeah.
And then let's not forget Kamala is supposed to join up with the other Marvel-esque heroes.
That was the other part of this I'm going to bring up is there is not really a reason to have Cameron be around anymore. She is going to be doing more important things when that movie comes around.
Yep.
So I'm going to be honest. When you have Photon, Captain Marvel, and Miss Marvel, you do not need Cameron. As much as I like this guy, you don't need him.
So that begs the question, or two questions. One, does this mean Cameron does not survive the series, or is Cameron a part of something bigger that requires the two other Marvels to team up?
I don't know. I have a feeling he's going to be part of causing something that attracts the other two. I got this itching bone in my body that he's not making it out of the series. Because I don't know. As much as I like that guy and the great job that he's doing, I have a feeling he's going to be the cause of something that jumpstarts her into that movie. The more I'm seeing this now, because of how the setup of how he got what's going on to him.
I think that's starting to click.
Yeah, and the other thing, remember how I mentioned last episode how I'm loving how she's getting her costume episode by episode? She got her sash and her lightning bolt emblem in this episode.
Yeah,
literally characters are making her costume for her as she goes along.
I love this so much more than what Daredevil did, which was like, oh yeah, by the way, in the final episode, here's her costume, all fully formed.
Yeah, like that did it. Gotham did it. Oh boy, did Gotham do a bad, because that costume was boof. And then, yeah, it's more natural. It feels awesome. Don't do this again. Let this be a cool Captain Marvel thing. Don't have it every episode. Maybe have like someone think of parts or have ideas, kind of like like most of the Spider-Man movies have done, and like in the comics where he's drawing it. Maybe do something close to where you saw ideas from stuff. But don't point blank do this again and something else, because this was really cool. Let this be the Miss Marvel thing. And I could be a complete moron, and this could have happened in her comic. I don't know. I don't know how she gets her costume. This could very much just be a thing they're doing. But if it is a brand new idea, I love it.
I will have to ask people who've read the comic, like how accurate this, like that specific aspect is. Because people have kind of compared Kamala to like Spider-Man, but for Gen Z, and honestly, that's pretty accurate.
You're not wrong. Is there anything else I need to? There was the very what do I want to say? Oh boy, the very Flashpoint-esque moment with Kamala handing Sana the picture of her mom and her dad. I like that a lot.
That was good.
That was pretty great. I'm not gonna lie. That was a definite favorite moment of mine.
Really, just everything with Kamala's family has just been just so wholesome.
Yeah, there are fewer things in these Marvel net. Wow, I almost said Netflix. Oof, I've been looking a lot into things, and I've been watching that. Spoilers! I've been watching that Master of Puppets solo scene just over and over and over.
It's so good. I can't wait to talk about it.
It's so good that just the word Netflix just burned into my brain recently. But yeah, it's these Marvel TV shows have just one thing they've nailed the best is Kamala's family. Out of all the shows they've done, nailing Kamala's family has been one of the best things.
My one complaint, and it's been something that the entire internet has been talking about, the fact that Marvel seems to be stuck on 6 episodes for each of these shows.
I would very much like them to vary.
Yeah, like even like the one actually the 2 that are the exceptions are WandaVision, which still, even when you total up the runtime, was like 6 hours, but it was 9 episodes.
Yeah,
and I think She-Hulk is 8 or maybe 9. Oh. I will double check.
Okay. The thing, I don't know if I was talking about this with you or who I was talking about this with. The thing that I really liked about Stranger Things this year.
9. She-Hulk is 9.
She-Hulk is 9. Okay, wow. That makes me wonder how much CG is going to be in those. Anyway, topic for another time. What I really liked about Stranger Things this year, and I can't remember who I was talking about this with. This was my roommate or my roommate's family. But it was the fact that the run times on those episodes were all over the freaking place. It was anywhere from an hour to that. I want to say that last one was 2 hours and 20 minutes long.
Yes.
That was a full feature-length movie. And you know what? Every one of them felt correct.
Yep. Like you can complain about some of those episodes being too long, but at least they weren't like constricted by we have to be X amount of episodes.
Yeah. It felt like the episode was long enough to talk about what they wanted to for that episode. It was basically like they got told, what do you want to do? We want to put this storyline in. How long do you need? It needs to be about an hour and a half. Cool. You have an hour and a half. Don't cut anything. That's not a thing that happens. I'm very much for, did you need 20 minutes? Do 20 minutes. Did you need an hour and a half?
Then do an hour and a half.
Do you need an hour and a half? Do an hour and a half. It's let the length of the thing be whatever. Do not do the James Cameron, I'm an old man and don't understand what I'm saying, dumb statements. James, you don't understand the difference between watching something in a theater and being at home. You could sit at home and watch 5 hours, so why can't you be in a theater for 3? Because I am paying to be there, and if I miss something, I have to pay again. I can do this. And go to the bathroom, and then come back. And I can tell you right now, there's some people, including James Cameron, that don't know when a movie doesn't need to be less than 3 hours.
As excited as I am for Avatar 2, I kind of agree.
When he himself went, yeah, I just don't know if I'm going to direct the other ones. Why are you making them? These are your passion projects that you felt you needed 5 movies for. What is going on, James? This is how you don't figure out what you want the project to be before you go 10 years into the making of it after it took you 30 years to get the first one made. Handle your projects correctly, people. I would like intermissions to come back. Manny just said that. I would be so for having intermissions.
Same.
My God, I would be so okay with that, and I bet theaters would too.
The one the one downside to that is the fact that intermissions cut into show times, so you'll have less show times, but the upside is more concessions sold.
That's exactly what I was going to say. You know what? Those theaters make jack fuck of all off of showing the actual movies. People don't know this. Theaters get bent over the barrel on those movies. Just because that movie made whatever, made $1 billion, guess what? That theater barely saw 30% of that.
Yep.
You're lucky. They live off concessions. And I was about to say the exact same thing. Those theaters go, oh, wait, a chance for them to empty and then want to refill up with more soda and candy? Come on down!
But getting back to Miss Marvel, this is like probably the worst example of a show getting really good, but then it's episode 5 out of 6, so they gotta like hurry and wrap things up.
Yeah, they have to kind of, they're in the funnel, and then 5 happens, and you're done. We're done with the twister. You're finally at the funnel. You gotta get out of there. Like,
I would have loved to see what like the Netflix version of this show would be.
My brain has been so plugged now. Now that I've been on an extreme anime binge. And for everyone that does not know, the magical numbers for regular run animes are either 52, 25, or 12. I cannot tell you how good a micromanaged, no fat, only showed what need to show 12 episode show can be. It is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Let one of these be 12 episodes long. I could have used 4 more episodes of WandaVision. Easy. Moon Knight? Hell yeah, I could have used more.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
And now this one, imagine more like imagine 1 or 2 more episodes of just like hanging about in Pakistan. You know,
that, or just going into the Veil.
Ooh, that's another good one.
You have so many possibilities. It's just like, well, yeah, there's that really cool storyline. Watch it fade away. You watch Digimon, right?
Very, very little from what I remember.
There is a thing where it's the Black Sea, where they're just like, don't go there. It's where all these dead cells and files live. They mention it once, and then away on the train it goes. They never mention it for the whatever 8 to 9 more different seasons of Digimon that have gone. One of the coolest things that just goes, bye-bye. Just don't do that.
Yeah, let the stories breathe.
Yes. Don't feel constricted, but if you're going to mention something that you know people would be like, that was dumb, why didn't you go there? Don't do that. Do teases. Don't do full blown on, yeah, I don't have time for that type of things. There's a big difference, and you can find the medium.
Yep.
But yeah, dude, we're almost done with another Netflix show. All right, dang it! Stranger Things! Disney Plus! We're almost done with another Disney Plus.
And you know what's funny? At the time we're recording this, tomorrow night, we're coming right back to do Thor, Love and Thunder.
We are. Pretty much. Oh, man, dude. I'm so excited for that.
Same.
Christian, I can't remember the last time Christian Bale got to ham it up a little. It's like the last time Christian Bale got to ham it up was like American Psycho.
Yeah, this will be really fun.
Yeah, because like I've heard the voice he's using as Gore the God Butcher in some of those scenes. That doesn't sound like Christian at all. But
and he looks terrifying too, in the black and white and everything.
He does. It looks great. Yeah, Manny, we'll be seeing it tomorrow, and then I'll be seeing it again with my roommate and his family on Friday. I will be probably seeing it again on Saturday, but I'll be seeing Skillet in concert on Saturday, so I'm quite excited.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, no, this is good. It's just it's great. I love it. It's really, really good. And yeah, it's gonna be weird to see where this leaves off.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited and scared at the same time.
Yeah, it's weird. And one last thing before we go, was it just me or did the drones that Damage Control have now look identical, if not the exact same thing as the drones that Tony had?
Close.
Where I was like, y'all were interrogating Peter for being a mass murderer, supposedly with those things, and now you have them? What? Like, I understand Damage Control. Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't Tony make Damage Control
I remember
in this
vaguely.
version?
Yeah, vaguely.
Because it was something where he screwed over Adrian Toomes. That's why he became the Vulture. Because like they were cleaning up the mess, and then Damage Control came in and then took it over because Stark didn't want anyone else dealing with it. If I'm remembering that correctly.
This version is a government agency called the U.S. Department of Damage Control, which was created as a joint venture between Stark Industries and the United States government to clean up after the Battle of New York.
There we go. That's what I thought. Okay, so it is partially with Stark. So yeah, okay. Also, I guess that would kind of make sense that they'd have those. All right, that's fine. Yeah, I just really, really liked it. It's good. I'm enjoying these. And yeah, I'm gonna be okay with 3 more episodes.
Same.
I'm good with that. That'll be nice. All right, Mike, where can everybody find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at Captain K42. You can check out my quick thoughts on letterboxd.com/CoachK42. And you can find me in all the various Facebook groups just at my name. You can check out Renegade Pop Culture on Facebook and Twitter at Ren Pop Culture. You can also find us on YouTube, Podchaser, The Banana Meter. Listen to all of our podcasts on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc. And last but not least, everything can be found at renegadepopculture.com. You need to escape, so do we.
Absolutely. And you can find me everywhere at Organoid Zero. Everyone, again, I got the email on Saturday that my PC is currently being inspected, built, and processed. It is going to be shipped out to me soon. I'm so sorry about the processing with my camera. It is all my laptop is just going. So everything will be cleared up as soon as that thing gets here. My baby's dying. And I'm not letting it die before I order some this time. So it will be better, and I will be back to streaming like normal, because as soon as that thing gets here, I will have a better capture card set up and everything will be back to normal. I have the dying ambition to want to stream like freaking crazy, and I just can't until that thing gets here. But all right, we will see you guys next time. Bye.
Peace.